Hi, my name is Edith, and this is Speech 2. The topic I chose is how culture is displayed through food around the world. I would like to start off as saying many people from all over the world make food that represent their culture. A lot of those people have food tradition that have been passed down to them for generations to generations, starting from their ancestors. After time, some families have even made changes on how to prepare a simple dish to make it their own tradition. That way their children can pass it along to their kids and so on. I believe the food of our culture becomes a part of each one of us and becomes a part of who we are. Many of us associate food from our childhood with warm feelings and good memories, and it ties us to our families, holding a personal value to us, per se. And food from our family often becomes the comfort food as all of us adults want after having a bad day. There's so many dishes I love from my culture, like huevos con chorizo, chile rellenos, tamales, and one of my favorite foods to eat of all time from my culture is enchiladas. Coming from a Mexican household, I grew up eating a lot of Latin American foods. I remember every time my mom would prepare something new for dinner, she would make sure to teach me how to make it just so I can pass along to my kids someday on our traditional foods. The first time my mom showed me how to make enchiladas, she made them with chicken. There's so many ways to make enchiladas, really, so many flavors you can use. For instance, there's beef, cheese, shrimp, chile verde, and of course chicken. Enchiladas are usually prepared with corn tortilla dipped in a chili sauce and then filled with either a choice of meat with vegetables, cheese, or sometimes both. Once the tortilla is filled with the meat, it then gets rolled up and topped off with sour cream, salsa, more cheese, or guacamole or avocado. I usually like to put lettuce on top, and then the sour cream and the queso fresco. Sometimes pico de gallo to get that extra flavor. These are just some ways that you can prepare enchiladas, but again, many families have their own traditions of how they want to make them and how they want to make their unique dish so they can pass along to generations to generations. Here are some pictures though that I like to show you of some enchiladas and how they look when they're made. This is the enchiladas with chile verde sauce, and on the side has some rice, and on top is cheese and sour cream. And these are some other ones topped with red sauce with cilantro and sour cream and queso fresco on top. But again, those are just some ways that you can prepare enchiladas. It doesn't have to be all the same. I know I've done some research and I looked up images on Google, and there's some enchiladas they're not always rolled up. You can always just kind of squeeze them together as a taco, kind of close the opening and just have them flat like that. They don't always have to be rolled up. You don't always have to use meat. If you're vegan, you can always just fill them up with vegetables. I know I tried those a couple times and they're very, very delicious. But yeah, that's my speech for today, and thank you for listening.